Hello again everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another speed build video in The Sims 4. I hope you're all having the most amazing day ever so far and thank you so much for joining me here today. We're building our very first autumnal home of 2023. I am so excited. It's been so warm in the UK and muggy, and then today it's like something has shifted. It's kind of cold in the air. It's been raining all day. I've like decorated my office with all these autumn decorations. I've got my autumn candle on. I've got a throw over me. I've been having cups of coffee all day. And I was just like, I need to build an autumn house. And that's exactly what I've spent today doing. So I'm so excited to share this with you all. But this is in Copperdale on a 20 by 20 lot. It's a family home. It has 2 bathrooms and 3 bedrooms and can sleep up to 4 Sims. So I would say this is one of my slightly smaller homes. It's sometimes really nice not to build huge family houses, but to build probably not necessarily small, but more medium-sized family houses, because obviously all of you have all these different family dynamics and I'm trying to cater for as many as I can. Obviously I love doing bigger family homes. I like doing small ones. I like doing tiny houses, specifically not necessarily houses but like apartments. I went through a bit of a tiny apartment phase at one point. I probably need to do another one actually. I'm feeling the itch, but I'm just trying to do like a wide variety, and I'm trying not to do what I did last year when all I built in autumn was autumn houses, because I do feel like it can get a little bit repetitive. But we're kicking off the autumn season with this house. So you'll have to let me know what you think of this in the comments down below. But it took me a little bit of time to warm up to this house. It took a little bit of tweaking off camera. I'm trying to explain what I did off camera because I was quite fussy with this house and very indecisive, and what I didn't want to do was film it all and then it feel like a big jumbly mess while you're watching it, because that's not a nice viewing experience for you. So what I tried to do was film as much of it as I could, but also tweak some bits off camera. One of the main differences that I did off camera was the roofing. I mean, it's really not a big deal. I don't even know why I'm mentioning it, but I'm mentioning it anyway. We know what I'm like. So the roofing, the main roof piece in the middle at the moment is like, I can't remember the actual name of it, but we end up changing it to a pitched roof, and I just think it looks a lot better. And then I also find like a little roof piece in the debug menu in cottage living that I end up putting within the pitch of the roof, like the smaller piece just on the left. I don't know if I'm like where the bay window is. And if you've seen the thumbnail, which I'm assuming you have if you've clicked on the video, then there's just something else that you might notice. You might not notice, but I've just thought I'd point it out anyway. So back to the build. I feel like I'm talking about all these changes that I've made off camera, but let's talk about what I'm actually doing on camera. So this is where I start pulling out the landscaping. As you can see, I am building in autumn because it's an autumnal house. On the inside, it's also very autumnal. I tried not to go too overboard, but I also didn't want it to be too subtle either. I'm hoping I got this right balance between the two. So again, you'll have to let me know what you think. But yeah, 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. There's a bathroom, a full bathroom downstairs, and again there's a full bathroom on the upper floor as well. This is for, I envisioned 2 parents, a child / preteen, and then an infant as well. So that was sort of the family dynamic that I had in mind. Obviously, if you need to make any changes, please do so. There's also an office on the ground floor as well, because I had like this really awkward room, and I'll talk a little bit more about it when we get onto the interior. But on the right hand side, it was quite long and thin, and I was like, I don't really want to make that a bedroom or a second living room, so I just turned it into a home office. Obviously, if you have any other ideas for that room, then please go ahead. I'm not going to be offended. Please go ahead. It was just a really awkward shape, but the house, I'm trying to like explain this. I love the house. I ended up really liking this house. I was trying to work out a really good balance of it being a less Halloween house, more of an autumnal house. So I can imagine that this family are really, really into Halloween and autumn. And you can see they've got pumpkins on the outside here. I do, again, change some of these off camera as well for the ones from the debug menu from cottage living, because I thought they were a little bit less in your face. But I ended up doing that off camera. And there's like a wreath on the door as well. But with the interior, I didn't want it to be too obviously autumnal, but I think there's just enough going on where you can sort of see the autumn vibes coming in, if that makes sense. I'm hoping it does. But yeah, I also realised that last year when I was on my autumn kick, I feel like for around about a month, I was just constantly building autumn houses, and I actually built a lot of them in Copperdale. I just found like the whole landscape, like as in the surrounding world, looked so beautiful in the autumn, and I don't know, I tended to build a lot in Copperdale last year. I'm going to try and build in quite a few different worlds this year. I also want to try and do like maybe an autumnal apartment, if that's something that you'd be interested in. I know I tried it a couple of years ago, and I don't know, I couldn't really get it to look how I wanted it to look, but maybe I could try again this year, I don't know. Anyway, this is the inside of the house. So I did struggle for a little bit with the floor plan and trying to work out what I wanted to go where, and then I did eventually work out a floor plan and a layout that worked for me in this particular house. So the sort of kitchen area, whilst it's segregated, I would still class this as more of an open plan because there isn't a wall separating the kitchen from the living space. But it ended up working really, really well with this particular house and the theme, and everything just came together really, really well. So we do start on the living area here. I use this fireplace from Growing Together, and then this sofa from the Book Nook kit. I am still obsessing over this sofa. It's still one of my absolute favourites. And I also ended up adding some of the cushions from the new Modern Looks kit. I was just like, oh my gosh, if this isn't asking for these cushions to be used, I don't know what is. So yeah, I do use them, and I think it looks really fantastic. I use this little armchair from the Cottage Living Pack, and then I also use this rug from Growing Together, along with these curtains from, again, the new Modern Looks kit, because I think these curtains are so dreamy, and they're just absolutely stunning. Again, the plant as well is from the new Modern Looks kit. I actually used quite a few items from that kit. I was quite surprised actually, because I didn't honestly think that I'd be using so many of them, particularly in an autumn house, but it just goes to show how versatile that pack is. Also, if you want to watch my apartment build where I showcase most of the items, I'll pop a card in the right hand corner for you, so if you want to check that out, please do so. But back to this living room, I struggled for a little while trying to find things that I wanted to put on the wall. I do find this when I'm doing themed builds, particularly autumn houses and then Christmas houses as well, which will be coming obviously later on in the year. It takes me a little bit of time to get into my groove and remember which autumn items I really like and I think work in family homes. So then once I end up getting into the swing of it, everything seems a little bit easier. But yeah, I think I forget often how many themed items we actually have for seasons. And speaking of seasons, I actually used a lot of items from seasons as well, but I don't think that comes as much of a surprise because a lot of the items that came with seasons come in various swatches for like spring, summer, autumn and winter, which is another reason I really, really like that pack. We put some little pumpkins by the fire. Again, trying not to overdo it with the autumn and Halloween stuff, but just giving it enough of a hint for the theme from the outside to come inside. You know, I really want this to be a really cozy space where your Sims can just enjoy the entire autumn season, and obviously you can enjoy it with them as well, because I just felt super cozy myself building this. And I do feel like when you're playing The Sims, depending on where you're playing and which house you're playing in, I do think it makes you feel a certain way, whether it's cozy or I don't know whether that's just me that thinks that way, but anyway. So we do end up finishing up the living room here. I add this little side table, this chest of drawers. I would probably class this as, this is from Seasons. I just think it looks so cute. I had a couple of pumpkins on top as well. It just ends up looking so sweet. I absolutely adore it. And then this little wreath in the window here as well, that's from Seasons too. I just wanted it to be, it's just so cute. And then the bay window at the back, I actually had a little bit of trouble with what to put there, because I also forgot that room there, you can see there's a little room, that's actually a bathroom. So as you can see, I completely forgot to add a door on camera. Don't worry, I did it off camera. Did I do it off camera or did I do it on camera? I genuinely can't remember. I do add one. That's the point of the story. I do add a door so your Sims can access it. I was thinking that this could be the like little reading nook. Sorry, excuse me, a little reading nook. So there's like a little armchair here. There's a bookcase from the Book Nook kit again. I just thought it looked really, really cute. There's a side table here with just a little decoration piece on it. And then we move on to the kitchen here. Actually ended up using some counters from Base Game, which doesn't surprise me. A lot of my autumn houses from last year, I did exactly the same thing. I just really like how they look, and I think it just adds to the entire vibe. I do add a little table here, and whilst there's not enough room for the entire family to sit down at the table, I was thinking that maybe they weren't really a family that's big on sitting down at the table together and eating a meal, because not all families are. If you want to add a couple more chairs in there, the space definitely allows for it, but it would look slightly cramped. So I don't really know what the alternative is there. My alternative is just adding the 2 chairs. So I hope it's not too much of a big deal, and I'm so sorry if it is. But yeah, I ended up adding this like little flower decor piece, which is from the debug menu from my wedding stories. I get asked that question quite a lot when I use that, just in the centerpiece there. I just thought it looked really, really cute. And then I use these little, they're not blinds, what do you even call them? I'm not entirely sure what they're even called, but they're from Growing Together, and I use them in the brown swatch because I thought it fit really, really well with the kitchen and the vibe. And I use these tiles, from Parenthood, because again, they just give off like this autumnal vibe, or at least in my opinion they do. I feel like, as well as I added the cooker and the fridge from the Cool Kitchen stuff pack in this like beigey gold colour, because I thought it was a little less bright than the white swatch. I just thought it worked a lot better. And speaking of stuff packs, I don't know if any of you tuned in to the Sims 4, not the Summit, the Sims 4, what was it called? Like, I'm just going to call it the Sims 4 catch up because the word is escaping me right now. But stuff packs are making a comeback finally after nearly, what's it been, 2 years? Because the last stuff pack we got was Paranormal Stuff Pack, which is one of my absolute favourites. And they're finally making a return. We're getting some sort of pack that allows you to have like new, smaller kitchen appliances. There's going to be new recipes, new gameplay. So I'm really excited for that. I know there's well, it's not a live stream. It's more like, I think a gameplay trailer's dropping on the 14th of September. So in 2 days' time. So I'm definitely going to be tuning in, because I've definitely been missing stuff packs, as I think a lot of people have in the community. So it's really nice to see them making a comeback. But I've just blabbed through most of the kitchen, the entire bathroom, and then now almost the office. So we've done 3 rooms, and I've had a little bit of a ramble about stuff packs. But yeah, very excited to see them making a comeback. So yeah, kitchen's done, bathroom's done, and then now we're working on the downstairs office. This is very plainly decorated, but I was still trying to maintain the kind of autumnal colour scheme throughout this room, and I absolutely adore this rug from the Book Nook kit. It looks like it's so soft, and just the swatches are absolutely gorgeous. I love it. It's making me realise just how many items I use from kits watching me build this. So don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But anyway, we've moved on to the upstairs here. As you can see, this is where the 3 bedrooms are, as well as the bathroom on the upper floor. I do not decorate this bathroom on camera because I've said this once and I'll say it again. If you see me decorate a bathroom for a house, you've seen me decorate them all. I try and make them relatively, like, pretty much the same, so I don't really feel the need to show it on camera again. And then the first room we work on is the main bedroom here. I really like how this turned out, actually. While I was playtesting this build, I did have to push the bed further back into the wall for your Sims to be able to get into the bed and use the wardrobe and just get into the room itself. So the bed is pushed back when you download this, so it's fully functional. My Sims were able to get on either side of the bed with no issues. So if you do have problems with it, I do apologize. I know that sometimes when I play test things, it's fine for me, and then when you guys play, there seems to be some issues. So I'm so sorry if that is the case, but it worked for me just fine. But yeah, I really like this room, actually. I love the fact that with Growing Together, we got this smaller wardrobe because it's perfect for rooms like this where you don't have a lot of room, but obviously you want it to be a functional space for your Sims. So that wardrobe is super handy. I use it a lot in a lot of my builds, actually. And then I just end up putting like this little box of old clothes up there. I don't know, I just wanted to add a little bit of detailing, what can I say? And then we move on to the child/preteens room. I really like how this room came out. I used this bed from the high school years pack. I absolutely adore this bed. I've used it in this swatch many times, but I tend to use it more in the double bed version, but I wanted this just to be for a single sim. Typically when I do children's bedrooms, I'll put in a bunk bed, but for this one, I just wanted it to be for one child because sometimes it's nice to mix things up a little bit. But if you do have 2 child sims, then you can definitely fit a bunk bed in here. It really wouldn't take much. You'd literally just have to swap the bed out and add a bunk bed. That's all you'd need to do. And then I end up cluttering up this little end table here. This lamp that came with one of the more recent base game updates, it's just absolutely, it's so cute. It's one of my favourite lamps, and I use it in, I would say 99% of my builds. I just think it's so cute. And then we do add a lot of items from the high school years pack in this room. I just thought, with the child being probably very nearly a teenager, that was sort of my thought with this. I just figured that I could use a lot of items from that pack because the build buy in high school years, I've said this once and I'll say it again, it's one of my all-time favourites. It's so good for decorating teens and kids rooms. I just love it. I just love it. And then because we've got this bay window area here, I was trying to rejig everything to make sure everything worked and to make sure that this sim had everything that they could possibly need. And then I ended up just adding a few more clutter pieces, and then one of the new backpack swatches, which I haven't really had chance to have a look at properly. I think I've only done one other build where I've used a couple of the new swatches, but they're so cute. I really like them. And then we move on to the final room, which is the nursery for the infant. I really like how this came out, and I did end up sticking with the autumn theme here, so I think it looks really, really nice. I'm using quite a lot of items from Growing Together, I'm noticing on the playback, but I am using this wallpaper from the base game. I just thought it looked really, really good. And then I would say this is more of a gender neutral nursery. I haven't gone like super blue, super pink or anything like that, so it's for any gender that you would like. But that is pretty much it for this house. I feel like that went by really, really fast. I don't know whether that's me or just because I've been blabbering. Anyway, if you would like to download this house, it's available from the gallery. My origin ID is RachelPedd. Tray files, as always, are linked down in the description box just below. You can get them for free from Sim File Share. But thank you so much, everyone, for joining me here today. I can't wait to hear what you think of this house. You all take care, and I will see you again really soon. Bye.